Let me start with this. Money is one of the biggest sources of stress for families. It's not because families don't care about managing their finances. It's because they're juggling so much between paying bills, saving for the future, managing debt, and dealing with the day-to-day chaos of life. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, it's easy to let money slip through the cracks.
Maybe you're not tracking every expense. Maybe you're guessing at how much you've got left in your account. Maybe you and your spouse aren't even on the same page about what the priorities are this month.
That's how financial stress creeps in, how arguments start, and how families lose sight of their bigger goals. But it doesn't have to be that way. A budgeting app designed specifically for families can turn chaos into clarity. It's not just about numbers on a screen. It's about giving your family the tools to work together, stay on track, and achieve financial freedom. Here's the problem most families face. They don't have a system that works for everyone. One spouse might be the saver, the other a spender. One keeps mental tabs on the budget, while the other has no idea what's been spent. And if you've got kids, forget it. Managing their allowances, activities, and unexpected expenses can feel like a full-time job. The result, miscommunication, frustration, and that awful feeling of not being in control. You might not even realize how much money you're wasting because no one's tracking where it's going. But what if you had a tool that brought everyone together? That made managing money easy, transparent, and even kind of fun.
That's what a family budgeting app can do. It's not just a tool. It's a game changer. Imagine this. You open your app and in one glance, you can see exactly where your money is going, how much you've got left in each category, and how close you are to reaching your family's financial goal.
Your spouse opens the same app and gets the same information. No more guessing.
No more arguments. Everyone's on the same page. And it's not just about tracking spending. It's about creating a system that works for your family. The app can help you set up a budget that reflects your unique priorities, whether that's saving for a family vacation, paying off debt, or building an emergency fund. It's a tool that keeps you focused, organized, and accountable.
But the real magic happens when you start using the app to bring your family together. Picture this. A family meeting where everyone pulls out their phones, looks at the budget, and talks about what's coming up. The kids get involved too. They see how much money is set aside for activities or treats, and they start to understand the value of planning and saving. Suddenly, managing money isn't just a chore. It's a shared responsibility. It's something your family does together, and that builds trust, communication, and teamwork. When everyone's on the same page, money stops being a source of tension and becomes a tool for building the life you want. Let me tell you a story.
I knew a family who was constantly stressed about money. They were making good incomes, but somehow at the end of every month, they were barely scraping by. They'd argue about where the money went, blame each other for overspending, and feel stuck in a cycle of frustration. Then they started using a family budgeting app. At first, it was just about tracking expenses, but soon it became much more.
They started setting goals together, paying off their credit card, saving for a vacation, and even starting a college fund for their kids. They had weekly check-ins where they'd review the budget, celebrate their progress, and adjust for the unexpected. And guess what? The arguments stopped. The stress lifted. And for the first time, they felt like they were in control of their money instead of the other way around. That's the power of a tool that works for your whole family. Here's the bottom line. If your family is struggling to manage money, you're not alone. But you don't have to stay stuck. A budgeting app can simplify the process, keep everyone accountable, and turn financial stress into financial success. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about saying, we're a team and we're going to figure this out together. When you do that, everything changes. Money stops being a source of stress and becomes a tool for building the life you want, a life of freedom, security, and opportunity. So take the first step. Get your family on the same page and watch what happens when you start working together toward a common goal. Let's get to work. You've got this. Let's talk about what makes a budgeting app truly work for families.
Because let's be honest, there are hundreds of budgeting tools out there, but most of them aren't built with families in mind.
They're designed for individuals with little consideration for the unique dynamics, challenges, and opportunities that come with managing money as a family unit. A family isn't just one person, it's a team. And that team needs tools that help them work together, communicate effectively, and stay aligned on their goals. The right features can take your family from financial frustration to financial freedom, giving everyone clarity, accountability, and even a little excitement about managing money. That's what a great budgeting app should do. The first must-have feature of a family budgeting app is shared access. Let me tell you, if your spouse, your teenagers, and even your little ones aren't all on the same page, you're going to run into problems. Shared access means everyone can log in, see the budget,
and make updates in real time. Bought groceries, log it in, pay the electric bill. It's updated instantly. No more guessing. No more did you already pay for that. Conversations and no more did you already pay for that. Conversations and no more surprises.
Everyone's looking at the same numbers, which means everyone knows exactly where things stand. Transparency isn't just a feature. It's a game changer for family. Next, let's talk about customizable categories. Families have unique expenses that don't always fit neatly into generic budget templates. Maybe you've got a category for sports fees, another for school supplies, and a third for the family dog. Or maybe you're saving for a family vacation and you want to track every dollar going toward that goal. A good app lets you customize your budget to reflect your family's specific needs and priorities. This isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. It's your money, your life, and your goals. The more you can tailor the app to your family's situation, the more likely you are to stick with it. And what about goal setting? Let me tell you, this is where the magic happens. Families thrive when they're working toward a shared purpose, and a budgeting app should help you set track and achieve your financial goal.
Whether it's saving for a trip to Disney, building an emergency fund, or paying off that mountain of student loans, the app should make it easy to see your progress in real time. Imagine logging in and seeing that you're 75 of the way to your goal. That's motivating. It turns budgeting from a chore into a challenge, and it keeps everyone excited and engaged. But here's the thing. Life happens. Expenses pop up. Plans change. That's why the app also needs to be flexible. You should be able to adjust your budget on the fly without feeling like you're starting over from scratch.
Got hit with an unexpected car repair.
The app should help you shift money from one category to another without losing track of your overall plan. Flexibility isn't just a convenience. It's a necessity when you're managing money as a family.
Another key feature is notifications and reminders.
Let's face it, life gets busy. Between work, school, soccer practice, and everything else, it's easy to lose track of due dates and budget limits.
A great app sends you gentle nudges when you're approaching the spending cap for a category or when a bill is coming due. It keeps you proactive instead of reactive, which means fewer late fees, fewer surprises, and more peace of mind.
Think of it as your personal financial assistant, always keeping you one step ahead. And let's not forget about the kids. A truly family-friendly budgeting app should include education features that teach kids the value of money, saving, and planning. Imagine giving your child their own login where they can track their allowance, set savings goals, and even contribute to family goals. It's not just about teaching them to budget. It's about empowering them to understand the value of every dollar.
When kids learn these lessons early, they grow up with a mindset of responsibility and possibility. And let me tell you, that's a gift that will last them a lifetime.
Finally, let's talk about the importance of simplicity and ease of use. If the app feels complicated or clunky, no one in the family is going to use it. A good app should be intuitive and user-friendly with clear visuals and straightforward navigation.
You shouldn't need a manual to figure it out.
The goal is to make budgeting as easy as checking your email or scrolling through your social media feed. The less time you spend managing the app, the more time you can spend focusing on what really matters, your family and your goals. Here's the bottom line. A family budgeting app isn't just about tracking numbers. It's about creating connection, alignment, and purpose. It's about giving every member of your family a seat at the table and a role in building a better financial future.
With the right features, shared access, customizable categories, goal setting, flexibility, reminders, education tools, and simplicity. You're not just managing money, you're changing the way your family works together. And when that happens, everything gets better. Let's get to work. You've got this.
Let's face it, starting something new can feel overwhelming, especially when it comes to managing money as a family. You might be thinking we don't have the time, or it's going to be too complicated, or even what if we mess it up? But here's the truth. Setting up a budgeting app for your family doesn't have to be hard. In fact, it should be so simple that you can go from download to done in one evening, maybe even less. The key is to make the setup process easy, intuitive, and, dare I say, enjoyable. Because when it's easy to start, it's easy to stick with. And let me tell you, the rewards of having a clear, organized financial plan are worth every minute you invest upfront. The first step in setting up your family's budgeting app is gathering your financial information. Think of it like cleaning out a messy closet. You've got to pull everything out before you can start putting things in order. Start with your income. What's coming in each month? List every source of money. Salaries, side hustles, rental income, everything. Don't guess. Get the real numbers. Next, pull together your expenses. This is where the rubber meets the road. Review your bank statements, credit card bills, and receipts from the past few months to see exactly where your money has been going. Be honest with yourself. This isn't about shame or guilt. It's about getting a clear picture so you can take control.
Once you've gathered your numbers, it's time to plug them into the app. This is where a good budgeting app really shines. It should walk you through the process step by step by step, asking for your income, expenses, and goals.
The best apps will even analyze your spending patterns and suggest categories to help you organize your budget.
Housing, groceries, transportation, entertainment, whatever categories make sense for your family. The app should help you create a structure that's easy to follow and tailor to your unique situation. And here's a tip. Don't overcomplicate it. Start with broad categories, and you can always refine them later as you get more comfortable. Now comes the fun part, setting your goals. This is where your family's dreams take center stage. Maybe you want to pay off debt, save for a vacation, build an emergency fund, or start a college fund for the kids.
Whatever your goals are, the app should make it easy to set them up, track your progress, and celebrate your wins along the way. And let me tell you, when you start seeing those numbers move closer to your goal, it's one of the most motivating feelings in the world. It's not just about the money. It's about the hope, the excitement, and the shared purpose that comes from working together as a family. One of the best features of a family budgeting app is the ability to assign roles and permissions. This is a game changer for families, especially when you've got multiple people contributing to the budget. The app should let you decide who has access to what. Maybe the parents oversee the main budget while the kids get their own mini dashboards for allowances or savings goals. This gives everyone a sense of ownership without overwhelming anyone with too much information.
And let's be honest, teaching your kids to manage their own money within the safety of a family system is one of the best financial lessons you can give them.
Here's another feature to look for: integration. A good budgeting app should sync with your bank accounts, credit cards, and even investment accounts to automatically pull in transactions. No more manual entry, no more guessing, and no more "did we already log that expense" moments. The app should do the heavy lifting so you can focus on making decisions and staying on track. And don't worry, these integrations are secure and designed to protect your privacy while making your life easier. Finally, make the setup process a family event. Gather everyone around the kitchen table or the living room, pull out your phones, and walk through the setup together. This isn't just about creating a budget. It's about creating buy-in.
When everyone has a voice in the process, they're more likely to stick with it. Talk about your goals as a family, decide on priorities, and get excited about the journey ahead. This is your chance to turn budgeting into a team effort, and that shared sense of purpose will make all the difference.
Let me tell you about a family I worked with, the Carters. They had always struggled to manage their finances because they were disorganized and overwhelmed. When they downloaded a budgeting app, they decided to set it up together as a family. They gathered their income, listed their expenses, and talked about their goals. Their teenage daughter wanted to save for a car. Their son wanted a new gaming system, and the parents wanted to pay off debt and build a vacation fund. They set up categories for everything, assigned responsibilities, and started tracking their progress. Within a few months, they had paid off a credit card, saved enough for the car down payment, and even started planning their first debt-free family trip. It all started with that one evening of setup, a simple step that transformed their financial future. Here's the bottom line. Setting up a budgeting app doesn't have to be complicated, but it does have to be intentional. Take the time to gather your numbers, involve your family, and create a plan that reflects your values and priorities. The setup process isn't just about entering data. It's about laying the foundation for a better, more secure, and more connected life. And once you're set up, the app will do the heavy lifting, giving you the clarity and confidence to achieve your goals together. Let's get to work. You've got this. Let me tell you something about staying accountable with your budget. It's not a one and done deal. Setting up a budget is the easy part. It's sticking to it month after month. That separates the families who win with money from those who stay stuck in the same cycle of stress and frustration. And let's be honest, life is busy. Between work, school, soccer practice, and trying to squeeze in a family meal now and then, it's easy for your budget to get pushed to the back burner. But accountability is what keeps your financial plan alive. It's what turns your good intentions into real results. And when your whole family is on board, accountability doesn't just keep your budget on track. It strengthens your relationships and builds trust along the way. The first step to staying accountable is making budgeting a regular habit. And I don't mean something you think about when a bill is due or when you're trying to figure out how much is left in the bank account. I mean intentional, scheduled check-ins where your family comes together to review the numbers, celebrate the wins, and make adjustments if needed. Think of it like a team huddle. Every great team takes time to strategize, assess progress, and refocus on the goal. Your family is no different. Set aside time once a week or once a week or once a week or once a week or once a month, whatever works for your schedule, and make it a non-negotiable. Pull up your budgeting app. Go through each category and have an honest conversation about where you stand. Are you sticking to the plan? Are there areas where you're overspending? Are you closer to your goals than you were last month? These check-ins don't have to be long or stressful. They just have to happen. And let's talk about communication, because this is where so many families get tripped up. Money is one of the most common sources of conflict in families, and it's almost always because of a lack of communication.
When you don't talk about money, small misunderstandings can turn into big problems. That's why it's so important to keep the lines of communication open. Use your budgeting app as a tool to foster transparency. If one spouse makes a purchase, log it in the app so the other knows about it. If a category is running low, discuss it before it becomes an issue. And if the kids are involved, make sure they understand the plan and their role in it. When everyone is on the same page, money stops being a source of tension and starts being a shared responsibility.
Now let's address the elephant in the room. What happens when someone goes off track? Maybe one spouse splurges on something they didn't budget for, or the kids blow their allowance on junk food instead of saving for their goal. Mistakes happen. It's part of being human. But the key is to handle them with grace and accountability. Instead of pointing fingers or assigning blame, focus on the solution. Ask, what can we do differently next time to stay on track? Use mistakes as learning opportunities and move forward together. Accountability isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about holding each other to the standards you've set as a family while offering the support and encouragement to keep going. One powerful way to stay accountable is by using the reporting tools in your budgeting app. A good app will show you exactly where your money is going, which categories are on track, and which ones are over budget. These reports aren't just numbers on a screen, they're a roadmap for improvement. Use them during your family check. Ins to identify patterns, spot trouble areas, and celebrate your wins.
Maybe you've been eating out too much and need to adjust that category. Or maybe you've crushed your savings goal for the month and want to give yourselves a small reward. Whatever the numbers show, let them guide your decisions and keep you motivated. And speaking of rewards, don't underestimate the power of celebrating your progress. Staying accountable doesn't have to feel like a chore. When your family hits a milestone, whether it's sticking to the budget for a month, paying off a debt, or reaching a savings goal, take time to celebrate. It doesn't have to be expensive or elaborate. Maybe it's a family movie night, a special dinner, or even just a high five and a round of applause. The point is to acknowledge the hard work and commitment it takes to stick to your plan. These moments of celebration not only keep you motivated, but also create positive associations with budgeting. It stops being something you have to do and starts being something you want to do because you can see the result.
Let me share a story about a family I worked with, the Millers. They were great at setting up their budget, but struggled to stay accountable. Expenses would slip through the cracks, and by the end of the month, they were always scrambling to figure out where the money went. When they started using their budgeting app to hold weekly check-ins, everything changed. Each Sunday evening, they'd sit down together, open the app, and go through their spending. They'd talk about what went well, where they could improve, and what they were excited about for the future. The kids got involved too, tracking their allowances and setting small savings goals.
Over time, those weekly check-ins became a family tradition. Time to connect, celebrate, and refocus on their shared goals.
And guess what? The Millers didn't just get better at budgeting. They got better at budgeting. They got better at working together as a family.
Here's the bottom line. Staying accountable isn't just about numbers. It's about commitment, communication, and consistency. It's about showing up for your family and your goals, even when it's hard. And the best part, the more you practice accountability, the easier it gets. It becomes a habit, a rhythm, a way of life. Yeah. And before you know it, you're not just managing money. You're winning with it.
Let's get to work. You've got this.
Let me tell you universal truth about life. It never goes exactly as planned. Just when you think you've got everything under control, the unexpected happens. Maybe it's a job loss, a medical emergency, or a big car repair that comes out of nowhere. Or maybe it's something exciting, new baby, move to a bigger house, or starting a family business. Whatever it is, life is constantly changing and your budget needs to change with it.
That's the beauty of a great family budgeting app. It doesn't just help you stick to a plan. It helps you adjust the plan when life throws you a curveball.
Because here's the truth. Financial success isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about learning to navigate them with flexibility, focus, and resilience.
The first step to overcoming challenges is embracing the fact that your budget is a living, breathing document. It's not carved in stone, and it's not supposed to be perfect. Too many people think that if they have to change their budget, it means they fail. That's nonsense. A budget isn't about perfection. It's about progression. When life changes, your budget should change too. The key is to stay proactive. Don't wait for chaos to hit before you adjust your plan. Use your budgeting app to revisit your numbers regularly, see where you stand, and make adjustments before small issues turn into big problems. Let's start with the unexpected expenses, the kind that can derail even the best laid plans if you're not prepared. A medical bill, a broken appliance, or an emergency trip to help a family member can feel overwhelming. But this is exactly why your budget includes an emergency fund. If you've been disciplined about building that 3 to 6 month cushion, you're ready for this. Your app should make it easy to pull funds from your emergency category, track what you've spent, and create a plan to rebuild it once the storm has passed. Instead of panicking, you can adjust your budget, shift your priorities, and keep moving forward. And let me tell you, having that kind of flexibility is life-changing. It turns emergencies into inconveniences. Now let's talk about the good changes, the ones that bring excitement but also require financial shifts. Maybe you're expanding your family, sending a child to college, or buying your first home. These are wonderful milestones, but they come with new expenses and responsibilities. A great budgeting app helps you plan for these transitions by giving you the tools to set new goals, track your progress, and adapt your spending. For example, if you're preparing for a baby, you might need to create new categories for diapers, childcare, and medical costs. If you're saving for a down payment, you might tighten up on discretionary spending to build that fund faster. The app makes it easy to visualize your goals and see how every dollar you save brings you closer to making them a reality.
And what about those times when your income changes? Maybe you've gotten a raise, congratulations, or maybe you're facing a pay cut or a period of unemployment. Either way, your budget needs to adjust to reflect your new reality.
If your income goes up, resist the temptation to inflate your lifestyle. Instead, use the extra money to supercharge your savings, pay off debt, or invest in your future. On the flip side, if your income goes down, it's time to tighten your belt. Your app should make it easy to identify non-essential categories where you can cut back, like dining out or entertainment, while keeping your focus on the essentials: housing, food, utilities, and transportation. Remember, this isn't forever. It's just for now. The goal is to stay afloat during tough times so you can thrive when things get better. One of the most powerful tools in a family budgeting app is its ability to provide real-time insights. When life changes, you don't have to guess how it's affecting your finances. The app can show you exactly where you're over or under budget, highlight trends in your spending, and help you make informed decisions. Maybe you notice that your grocery bill has been creeping up or that you're spending more on gas than you realized. These insights aren't just helpful, they're empowering. They give you the information you need to stay in control, even when circumstances are shifting. Let me tell you about a family I know, the Martins. They were doing great with their budget, sticking to the plan, paying off debt, and even saving for a big vacation. But then out of nowhere, Mr.
Martin was laid off from his job. At first, they were devastated. How were they going to make ends meet? But instead of panicking, they turned to their budgeting app. They pulled up their numbers, adjusted their income, and immediately cut back on non-essential spending.
They paused their vacation savings and shifted that money to cover groceries and utilities. They also used the app to track their emergency fund withdrawals, making sure they only used what was absolutely necessary. It wasn't easy, but the Martins made it through those tough months without falling into debt. And when Mr. Martin found a new job, they picked up right where they left off. That's the power of adaptability. Their budget didn't break. It bent with the changes and kept them on track. Here's the bottom line. Life is unpredictable, but your financial future doesn't have to be. A great family budgeting app gives you the flexibility to adapt to whatever comes your way. Whether you're facing a challenge, celebrating a milestone, or just navigating the ups and downs of everyday life, the app keeps you focused, informed, and in control. It's not about avoiding change. It's about avoiding change. It's about embracing it and using it as an opportunity to grow stronger as a family. So when life happens, and it will, don't give up on your budget. Adjust, adapt, and keep moving forward. Let's get to work. You've got this. Let me tell you, budgeting isn't the finish line. It's the starting point. When you've mastered the art of tracking your income, managing your expenses, and aligning your family's money with your goals, you're not just surviving, you're thriving.
And that's when the real fun begins. This is the moment when your budgeting app becomes more than just a tool for keeping the lights on or making it to the end of the month.
It becomes a tool for building wealth, creating opportunities, and leaving a legacy that will impact your family for generations to come. Winning with money isn't about just getting by. It's about dreaming bigger, reaching higher, and doing it together as a family. The first step to building wealth is simple. Make your money work for you. Your budgeting app is your roadmap to financial freedom, but it's up to you to take the journey.
Start by setting your sights on the basics. An emergency fund that gives your family peace of mind, debt-free living that liberates you from monthly payments, and consistent saving that sets you up for the future.
These aren't just boxes to check. They're the foundation of your financial success. And the app makes it easy to track your progress, celebrate your milestones, and stay focused on what matters most.
But here's where it gets exciting. Once you've mastered the basics, you can start using your budget to create real wealth. This isn't just about saving, it's about investing. Your app should make it simple to set aside a portion of your income for long-term growth.
Whether it's a retirement account, a college fund for the kids, or even a dream to invest in real estate, the possibilities are endless when you have a plan.
The beauty of investing is that it's not just about the dollars you put in. It's about the compounding growth that happens over time. Every dollar you invest today has the potential to multiply tomorrow, and that's how wealth is built. One intentional decision at a time.
And let's not forget about the power of giving, because generosity is one of the most fulfilling ways to use your wealth. When your budget is in order and your goals are on track, you're free to give in ways you never thought possible. Whether it's supporting your church, helping a friend in need, or donating to causes you're passionate about, giving isn't just about the impact it has on others. It's about the joy it brings to your own heart. And here's the thing. Generosity doesn't have to wait until you're rich. Your budgeting app can help you set aside even a small portion of your income for giving, creating a habit of generosity that will grow as your wealth grows. But winning with money isn't just about the numbers. It's about what those numbers allow you to do. It's about the family vacations you'll take because you planned ahead and saved. It's about the college education you'll provide for your kids without them having to take on crushing student debt. It's about the peace of mind you'll feel knowing you're financially secure no matter what life throws your way. And most importantly, it's about the legacy you'll leave for the next generation. When your kids see you managing money wisely, setting goals, and working together as a family, they're not just learning how to handle finances. They're learning how to live with purpose and intention. Let me share a story about the Thompsons, a family I worked with who used their budgeting app to change their lives. When they started, they were drowning in debt and living paycheck to paycheck, but they stuck to their budget, paid off every dollar they owed, and built an emergency fund that gave them breathing room. Then they started dreaming bigger. They used their app to set a savings goal for a down payment on a house and reached it 2 years ahead of schedule. Next, they began investing for retirement and started a college fund for their 2 kids. But what they're most proud of is the giving fund they created. Every month, they set aside a portion of their income to support causes they care about. Today, the Thompsons aren't just winning with money. They're winning as a family. And it all started with a budget. Here's the bottom line. When you use a budgeting app to build family wealth, you're not just creating financial security. You're creating freedom. Freedom to pursue your dreams. Freedom to give generously. Freedom to live life on your terms. And the best part, you're doing it together. Because winning with money isn't just about the dollars, it's about the relationships, the memories, and the legacy you're building along the way. So don't stop at just managing your money. Dream bigger. Plan smarter. And let your budgeting app be the tool that helps you turn those dreams into reality. Let's get to work. You've got this